Hey, StarCrafters, Wookie here. Thanks for tuning in. And recently, a friend of mine, Notorq, you perhaps remember him from the channel earlier, in earlier casts. He and I met up in game, and we're both coming off I'm going to say a lengthy absence. And of course, in gamer time, lengthy is like 2 weeks. But it's been a while since I've played StarCraft. I've been into League of Legends, but I totally suck at it, so I'm not recording it or anything. But we decided that we would play a best of three, so here's that. It's a PvP. This map is Ohana, and you can see that I'm making probes, and he's making probes. He's down here wearing blue, and he's going to come down to the bottom of his ramp to build his buildings, and that makes me suspect that he's going to get a fast expansion. And so there it goes at the 3 minute mark. So that's pretty quick, especially in PvP, kind of dangerous. But I don't know it yet. I strongly suspect. But you can see I just take this watchtower, slide a pylon over in his third to watch and see if he goes crazy. And I also want a place to be able to warp in, that's a little closer to my attack path, either here or here. But in this particular game, I was chasing his scout around, making sure he wasn't dropping any pylons, doing shenanigans. And I went double gas. If you were looking up here at the production tab, remember this is an interactive channel. You have to pay attention because I certainly am not going to. But I remember thinking in this game when I saw this that he was probably going to a quick expand, and I decided that I would watch for a 4 gate. So you can see me on some attack paths here, just looking for that pylon, looking for the shenanigans. And I'm going to do a 2 immortal push. I figure if I get 4 gated, I can handle a one immortal defense, which I would have totally failed at, by the way. Wow, look at that, 620, and I just have 1 gateway and no immortal. So it's a good thing that did not happen. Maybe that's why I was so actively searching for those pylons, because I knew I wasn't going to be on time. But we can see Notorq did indeed expand, and he is only got 2 stalkers. Is that accurate? That is accurate, but 29 probes. So I'm only 3 probes behind him, but a significant advantage in the army until those 2 right there. But I'm going to swell pretty soon here. I'm dropping a forward pylon, and I probably have a Bumpadita coming in. Where's my Bumpadita? Oh, he's back here. Never mind. A little poor control on my part. And is that faster or faster times 2? Faster is the normal speed. It's been so long, guys, since I put a video up that I don't even remember what the proper speed is to watch them. Get your all-seeing eye out of here. This is the one I plucked out and threw into the pool of wisdom in order to learn the runes. And so I'm just, I'm an accommodating guy. I'm just going to run that over and check out how many gates he's got. So I saw his army. I saw how many gates he's got. I know he's going to be able to swell units pretty soon. So at this point, I'm thinking I got to get moving pretty soon. I'm probably waiting for my second immortal because I have been kind of doing 2 immortal. And I say I've kind of been doing it, but I haven't because I haven't really been playing. But I will every once in a while just do like an AI game or get into a 2s or a 3s with random people. And my thing is I'm just going to go 3-gate robo, actually 1-gate robo, 2-gate, and chrono out 2 immortals and then start running around the map. And I usually get creamed because someone goes void rays or whatever people do in multiplayer games where you can't really use a one-player strategy like a 2 immortal push. Why did I leave those guys back there? Oh my gosh, that's kind of embarrassing. But anyway, Guardian Shield, and at this point I wonder if I didn't wait too long, but I was able to get some force fields in. Cut some. You can see some of the stalkers in the back moving around, not being able to fire, but at the same time I stopped on the ramp and my immortals were dancing but not firing. So it ended up being pretty close, but I start target firing his stalkers. You can see all my units are firing at the same one. The reinforcements are slow to arrive. These guys, Union, they're not certified to fight up ramps. They're only Only certified probe killers, so they should be getting into the fight anytime now. Actually, they must have had vacation slips in or something. But I was able to, with this immortal, oh wow, 13 hit points, 10 kills. Yeah, with the two immortals, I was able to chew through the stalkers pretty quickly. He pulled all the probes, so now the advantage that he had, you can see the units tab, the advantage that he had on the 2 Nexus, economy-wise, is non-existent, and my army is Uger, and it's pretty clear that I'm going to win this game unless I go AFK or something. I've just expanded, and there's Notorq with the GG. So that was game 1. And it goes to the Wookie. And remember, this is a best of 3, so I'll be right back. Alright, we are in game 2, and I cut out like the first minute. I just let it go because what really happened. But this one's on Cloud Kingdom, and I am up in the top right, and Notorq is down in the bottom left. And via the production tab, we can see that our timings are lining up pretty good. So I'm going to go even faster just to get through the boring parts and just take note of these timings through this tab. Whoever blue is getting their cybernetics core and is way ahead. That's Notorq. So back here in my base, my cybernetics core was pretty delayed, and I'm pretty sure it's because I was donking around with a probe, which is my downfall. I should never donk around with my probes. I should just move them around on the mini-map and go see them. But what I did see just then was a 4-gate. So cause and effect, because I see a 4-gate coming on my side, I decide I'm going to have to defend with a 4-gate because I know I'm late. I'm at 6 whatever, and I don't even have my gates yet. So you can see I got the sentry was at the top of the ramp, perched for the force field, and my other units were looking for the pylon, but the attack never came. I tried to sneak a pylon in, it got squashed by the stalkers. So again, I was a little late. My timing's not precise. I'm going to leave this assimilator, if I recall, I'm going to leave this assimilator unoccupied for a long time. Note the gate, the game timer is like 8:15 that went down, 8 minutes 15 seconds. But here we sit for a while, and I keep waiting for the attack to come, so I'm kind of hesitant to come down here, but I finally decide I have to, and he only brings 3 stalkers, so he's just poking, just trying to get a look and see if I've expanded yet. And currently I don't know that he's expanded, and on his vision he hasn't even been in my base. But with this pylon down here, he might think I'm expanding. I'm not sure, but by this time I am anyway. So even if he's assuming I did, because when he got here I hadn't, but even if he's assuming I did, he's right now. And you can see my forge coming in, and he's making mortals. And note that it's been 2.5 minutes, and I still haven't put any probes. Here in the units tab, I'm really light on probes. Haven't been making many. Because remember, I 4-gated, so I stopped making probes so I'd be able to put in a bunch of units, but it never came, and I probably should have just powered through the probes. I guess it's quite possible I actually mentally slipped and forgot to make them. But in the supply, Notorq is a full 10 supply ahead of me. I've got my army kind of divvied up, and look at that. Look at that sneaky bastard. He is just sitting there knowing exactly what I'm doing, and he's not a care in the world because he knows his army is a lot bigger than mine, and he's just cranking out the probes. I'm closing the gap a little bit now. He's adding on gateways. That's nice. That's a 7-gate thing here, but he should be going. I think he should be going right now, and I just brought my observer in. It's right there, hard to see, but there it is. Keeping an eye on things at his base, and with the forward tower I see he's coming, so I'm like, whoa, that was really close. My reaction time was not the best there, and I almost lost half my army. That would have sucked. But here we go with a lot of zealots, because I just can't seem to get enough gas. So I've got one there, and oh hey, I finally got in there. I would back up the timer to find out when I figured that out exactly, but we know it was a long time. So now I'm bringing in the Extendo Rangeo on the Thermal Lance, and I'm going to try to get some Colossus out because I've got a lot of Zealots, and I figure I saw a lot of Stalkers out of him. Like, I'm looking at a ton of Stalkers. So my thinking is the best way to deal with that is to bunch them up on Zealots and then keep the Colossus shooting him down. But of course he's probably got Blink coming. At least I'm thinking he's probably got Blink coming. But it turns out he doesn't. So I was right. And he makes a Colossus transition too. So he just went Stalker Colossus. I went more Zealot heavy Colossus. But mostly because I was just herpy-derping on my gas, and I'm so disappointed in myself right now. That's so terrible. And I've got some forges I'm not using and plenty of gas. Oh, and lots of rust. Got to bang lots of rust off here. So I have to run over there and kill that Zealot that he had perched over here. I did try to expand here, if you were paying attention on the mini-map, because I am not going to point stuff like that out to you guys. You should know that by now. But I did try to take an expansion there, and he denied it with some Zealots. So now I'm going back to re-expand, and here he comes with a bunch of Stalkers. He decides it might be time to do something about that. What's he got over here? Just a couple of Zealots watching that. That's a nice move. I have moved into position, and this worked according to plan for the first engagement anyway. I managed to excessively force field that ramp and carve out a chunk of his Stalkers, but you can see via the production information up here, or the game information up top there, that all that really did was even the supplies out, because Notorq was so far ahead of me, and he's ahead of me again. Okay, now there I just caught up. So in my mind, because that engagement went so well for me, I was thinking that I was ahead, but it turns out I wasn't. All I had done was evened it up. And then if you watch this production tab up here, you're going to watch me make a pretty big mistake. First of which is not making any probes. Why aren't there any probes in there? Why aren't there any probes in there, Wookie? Not the production tab, but the units tab shows I don't have nearly enough probes. I should be making some, and I'm not. But did you see how he's making 3 Colossus at a time, and I'm only making 1? And I'm adding on gateways, which, you know, cool, 8, 9, 10 gateways. 10, 11, 12 gates, you know, sweet, but he's got a few himself, only 7 it looks like, but 3 robos. So his Colossus, aside from getting caught there, oh look, so I'm doing, you know, this, what I think is fancy harass, but he's already mined out here, and I'm not going to be able to do any significant structural damage. But I do see a lot of Colossus. However, I didn't keep my eyes here, and like, I didn't see these. I saw this. You know, but I think I'm kind of clever in that I'm actually doing some harassment damage, but it turns out all he's doing is making way more Colossus than me. So I come in with 4 Colossus against his 3. I think my army's a lot bigger, but it really isn't. And he's got the excess Stalkers. Is he upgraded 2-2? I'm probably at 1. Yeah, 1-2. I was going to say 1-1, but I did mention 2. So right there, devastating losses. Just a horrible engagement for me. His Colossus chewed me up. I had more Colossus, but he had better upgrades. And he's got more Colossus that he's not even using. But he does promise, I promise you, he does get these into play a little bit later. He's got probes everywhere, and I just lose this base because I got no army. Look at my supply, 73 to 120. So a good first engagement for me, but really it only evened the game up. And Notorq was able to stay up on his upgrades and make a larger army than I had. We might have been pretty close, but just a really bad engagement angle for me. My Colossus were relatively ineffective, and his Stalkers just chewed me up. And then this is kind of depressing. At that point in game, you're like, man. And Colossus can see up hills. I had forgotten about that. I try to perch some units up on top and shoot down. And at this point, I'm living a lie. I'm like, I can take him. I can take him. But I can't take him. I can't take him at all. And that is GG for Notorq. So, in the Wookie versus Notorq series, we're all tied up for one game apiece. Good guys won, bad guys won. And the rubber match coming right up. All right, StarCrafters, we are back in Game 3 of the Best of 3 series between Notorq and Wookie to see who is the best StarCraft 2 player of these two StarCraft 2 players. Now here am I on, let's see, this looks like Core Hall Compound maybe? So there's me in the upper right, and here's Notorq in the bottom left. It's the rubber match of a Best of 3, so we are at 1 win apiece, and there in the middle is a little probe-on-probe scouting action, and I skipped, I don't know, the first 40 seconds or so of this game just to get the things moving, and this is actually so exciting right here that I'm going to speed it up a little bit. We've got Notorq building on the low ground here. That's interesting. Maybe he's going for a fast expansion. When I scratch my beard, can you guys hear that? I imagine that you can. I am a bearded individual. They do not call me the Wookie for no reason. That was very deliberate and very appropriate when I was assigned that nickname by my college roommates. A cancel on the gateway there. Notorq says he just blanked out. I don't wonder if he didn't accidentally cancel that. And I remember that happening in game, where him saying he blanked out, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" Because I thought maybe, you know, he fell backwards in his chair and clunked his skull or something. But he says he was daydreaming. But he that has put him way back. I mean, income-wise and that, it's not a big deal. But production-wise, you can see I've got my warp gates chronoing out, and he is just laying down this extra stuff to try to get caught up all at once. But he is going to be super behind on that warp gate tech. You can see mine's just about approaching halfway done. He hasn't even started it. Whoa! Notorq, what was that? He apparently wanted some money real fast. He's changing his mind. Maybe he couldn't handle the pressure situation. Notorq being indecisive and daydreaming. Maybe he's got, you know what, I bet, okay, here's what happened. I bet you Notorq is sitting in his room, and he's probably got like one of them satellite, you know, for cable, for TV, and it was probably one of those free Cinemax weekends. And so like somewhere between game 2 and 3, he was just bebop booping around on the old channel there, and he found that Cinemax was free, because this game was played at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So that is surely what happened. I would be willing to bet a significant amount of your money on that. So I am looking for the proxy pylons, of course. This is something I always do when I've just got a few units, and I have a pretty good idea that I'm not being directly attacked, like meaning the units aren't right here. I will stretch out and then excuse me, look for the pylons just to make sure there's no shenanigans or chicanery going around. And what did I see? I have not seen anything down here yet. But you can see I'm coming to, if you look at the mini-map, you can see I am working on that. I took a couple of long routes around, especially with this stalker. So I got a little bit of temporary vision there. I was feeling comfortable with this. Notorq, sneaky. Notorq is looking to expand, and he's super far behind. I've got this in here now, and I could see what was going on, and I knew he was really light on army, and he tried to expand. So I just made a push. In PvP, expanding first is a huge risk, and you really want to be sure that you're safe when you do it. Now I've got an observer here that I should put over here. There we go. I don't know if you heard my mouse clicking, but I'm trying to get it to move. But I mean, okay, yeah, he kind of canceled some gateways and wasn't sure what he was doing with his money, floating a lot of minerals. I would say this was just a bad game for Notorq just from the start. Sometimes that happens. You do something derpy like nick the escape button or accidentally hit the cancel thingy down here when you're trying to tap on the card. But um, so he was up against it anyway. But when I saw that with my observer that he had expanded, that he was very light on army, and I mean it turns out I got over here and I did see this. I mean he was going for archons, it looks like. So I was kind of in a hurry at that point. Probably was planning a 2 immortal push. Only got one. Didn't wait for the second one because it would take him forever to get down there. But if you're going to expand in PvP, general recommendation. Not that I am even qualified to give recommendations, but I'm gonna. Whatever. You're already watching. You may as well keep watching. But if you're going to expand, make sure you know where your opponent's army is, because if even if you're up here just poking around and you have no intention at all of trying to fight it, or you just want to know where it is, so bring some units up, poke in, see the army. If he had come out here and known that my army was right here on the tower, he could have safely not done this, knowing that it was going to be too hard to hold, and he maybe pops a couple more sentries and puts down a cannon or whatever and plays a little defensively till he gets a few archons, and then he comes down here and says, what up now, and I got to back off. But from the start, canceling that gateway, canceling these gateways, clearly he was a little disheveled in that one, and I was probably going to take it, but I'll take it. I don't care. I'll take it. I am the best StarCraft 2 player out of these two StarCraft 2 players on that particular day, at that particular time, for that particular subset of games. I think if Notorq and I played 98 games, it would probably end up, oh crap, I gotta do math, hold on, 90, 40, 48 and 46, 48 to 49, 48 and 48 is 96, there's two more games, so like 49 to 50, wait no, 48 to 40. Golden rule of casting is never try to do math while you're casting, and that's why. But I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully I'll get Notorq in another best of 3 here pretty soon. I find it funny that most of my videos, the game is over. I don't say anything significant at all, and then once the game is over, I talk for at least as long as the game went on. But I appreciate you sticking around. Subscribe if you would. Thumb it up if you want to. Have some fun. Go have good luck and fun on your ladder games. I am the Wookie. Comment below. WookieStarcraft@gmail.com if you want to send me a comment of a personal nature that you don't want to throw in the thread down there, or you want to send me one of your replays for me to cast. I do that on occasion. If you sent me one in the past, like in the past, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, and you haven't seen it and you're all grumpy, you're like, stupid Wookie never cast my game, it's because it got lost. I had a purging of my email in the transition from when I got this new machine and everything, and there's my saved game files are all gone. I don't know where they went. Send it again or send me a new one. Go play 3 games right now. Send me the best one out of those 3 games, and maybe I'll put it up on the channel. Alright guys, I am really going to leave this time, I promise. Later. Where's the button to turn this thing off?